Good morning students, welcome to Code to Enhance Learning Beginners Web Development video series. As you know, in this video series we are learning web development so that by the end of the video series you will be able to create your own amazing web page to express and solve your problems. So today we will be continuing with our first theme, that is things around me. The name of today's lesson is My Colorful Web Page and Images. As the name suggests, we will learn to add colors and images to our web page. The link to our previous two videos will be in the description below in case you have missed it. That will provide you a better grip to today's lesson. Now let's continue with today's video. So this is our first theme called Things Around Me, where we are creating a web page to share three things about us or around us that we love. I have made a web page about three places I like near me. Similarly, you will make a web page about something which you would want to share with the world as we have discussed in the previous lessons. In every lesson, we are learning new skills and concepts that will help us make our final web page by the end of this theme. In the previous lesson, we have learned the three essential HTML tags, that is the div tag, the p tag and the h tag, and use them to add content to our web page. In this lesson, we are going to learn to add images, colors to our web page. So let's dive right into it. Attributes in HTML. So what are attributes? All type of HTML elements have attributes. Attributes are various properties of an HTML tag that can be assigned or altered by us according to our requirement. Attributes are usually specified inside the opening tag and they are mostly names and values. For example, the style attribute is used to change the design or the aesthetics of our HTML page according to our tastes, such as the width, height, color, border properties, etc. of a page. So as you can see in the example here, P is the paragraph tag whose style we can change. Style is the attribute, color is the property, and red is the value. The IMG tag. In our HTML page, we use the IMG tag to insert images into our web page. An IMG tag is a self-closing tag. I hope you remember from the first lesson what a self-closing tag is. An IMG tag only contains attributes. Out of many attributes that can be passed inside an IMG tag, the most important and the mandatory one is the SRC or the source attribute. The source attribute specifies the URL or the location of the image in our computer so that the program knows where to access the image from. In the given example below, you can see the format to pass an IMG tag. So now I have opened my Visual Studio Code app and let's try to insert some images in our web page, the one which we have created by the end of our last video. So we are going to add three images of the respective three places which I have mentioned in my web page. One tip that I would like to give you is you can copy the images which you want to use in your web page in the same folder in your computer where your HTML project is. It makes inserting the image a lot more easier. So as you can see, this is the folder theme1 where I have kept all my HTML file regarding this theme. So these are my two HTML files and along with them I have pasted the three images I will be requiring for making this web page. Now I have minimized this and go to my Visual Studio app. Upon opening this, you can see the images appear over here in this panel in my Visual Studio Code app. Now, instead of writing the file location inside our source, we can just write the name of our images with followed by the extension. So what I am going to do is now inside each three div tags, I am going to initiate three IMG tags. Here goes the first IMG tag, then the second one, and now the third one. So now inside the source of each IMG tag, I am going to write the name of the images. Here goes Kankaria, Riverfront and Kolhapur. So I have finished inserting my images. Now let's open our browser and see what it looks like. So this is how my web page is going to look like after inserting these images. Now what I want you to do is pause the video right here and open your HTML file which you created by the end of last lesson and try to insert some relevant images about the things you spoke about in your web page. Go ahead. So I guess you are done. Now let's move on with our lesson. So now we are going to learn about the A tag in HTML. The A tag defines a hyperlink, which is used to link from one web page to another. The most important attribute of the A tag is the href attribute, which indicates the link's destination. In simple words, the A tag is used to add links to other web pages inside our own web page. You can see in the given example, we have passed an A tag, following it the href attribute, inside which we have pasted the link to a page where we want to navigate to. In between the opening and the closing tags, we write the text that help us to navigate to our link. So now what I will try to do is, I'll try to insert read more links in our web page using the A tags, which on being clicked will navigate us to the Wikipedia pages of the places we have mentioned in our web page. To do that, what we have to do is insert 3 A tags below our paragraph tag inside each div tag, and it goes somewhat like this. Now we have to put the Wikipedia link of our places inside the href attribute. So first one goes Ankaria, then Riverfront, then Kolhapur. So now our code is done. We will head to our browser to check how our web page looks like. So this is how my web page looks like after adding the A tags. You can see these are created by our A tags, and once we click upon them, it takes us to the Wikipedia page containing our places. Okay, so pause the video right here and open your Visual Studio Code app. Open the saved file and use the A tags to add relevant file in your web page. So I hope you're done now. Let's move on with our lesson. So now we will be learning about CSS. We already know from the previous lessons that CSS is used to add designs and styles into our web page. So now we can say that CSS is a set of commands that describes the style of an HTML document. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It describes how an HTML element should look on the screen. One way to use CSS in our page is by inline style method. To use inline style method, add the CSS attribute to the relevant element. The style attribute can contain any CSS property. For example, as you can see here, to change the background color, we need to first declare the attribute style inside the opening tag of the element and mention the property background color, and then change its value from the default value to blue. Like this, you can also change the text color, height, width, and a lot of other properties. So now I have opened my Visual Studio Code app to apply some styles to our web page, such as color and mending the image size and the margin with respect to our web page. So now let's see how we do it. So finally we have done styling our web page. Now let's see how it finally looks like. So this is how my web page looks like after being styled. So now what I want you to do is pause the video right here and head to your Visual Studio Code app. Open the saved file and write codes using the style attribute to add colors in your web page and also resize images. Go ahead. Okay, so I hope you are done. Let's move on with our lesson. Okay, so now we are at the end of this lesson. By now you must be in a position to solve these two questions. So these are the two questions related to today's lesson. Now go for it. Okay, so I hope you have guessed the answer correctly. So the answer to the first question will be SRC is an attribute that specifies the URL of the image, and the answer to the second question will be option B. We are in the end right now. Our next video is going to be our last video of our first theme, where we will learn more about HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Till then, I am Rishabh from Code to Enhance Learning, signing off for today. Hope to see you in the next session of Web Development video series for beginners. Thank you.